What's up, you guys? ToyShiz here, and I'm back yet again to give you guys another fresh look. And today we're going way back to February 2020 of 2020, the year that just won't end. 6 months in, but we were all at Toy Fair. We were checking out this new McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman: The White Knight / Curse of the White Knight storyline figure set that's based off Sean Gordon Murphy's comic book run. And if you're not familiar with the comic, definitely check it out. And today for this video, we are going to be opening up Azrael, because this is the one, baby. This was the one where I was like, ooh, that's a good looking Azrael. And this comes courtesy of Losha Locomotive on Instagram, sculptor for McFarlane Toys. Check him out, follow his work, and see all the awesomeness that he's got coming up, including this guy right here. Azrael, big fan of him, always back in the day for, you know, the Nightfall storyline, the original storyline. So Curse of the White Knight kind of draws elements from that. If you're not familiar with it, Joker, Azrael, Batman, old school Gotham, families warring, all that kind of stuff. Definitely check it out. Don't want to spoil it. Check it out on Comics Explained on YouTube. Highly recommend the Rob Core. I love that guy explaining all the different comic book storylines that I don't have the time right now to read, but I recommend this. Here's the barcode if you want to screen grab that. And of course, like I said, the artwork alone, and the fact that it kind of draws from Batman the Animated Series, Sean Gordon Murphy rocks it. I can't recommend it enough. It's one of the more recent Batman storylines that really comes to mind. And like I said, you have Nightfall Batman, Jean Paul Valley, Flaming Swords. I mean, why not? Why not check it out? But in the meantime, sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman Curse of the White Knight Azrael action figure. And here's old Jean Paul Valley Azrael out of the packaging. And this is a stunningly stellar looking figure. If he had no articulation, if he was just a statue, he would rock it. But they put articulation in there. And for those of you wondering, I think you're going to like this guy a whole heck of a lot. The colors alone, right? Just look at that. He comes with the trading card that all the figures have. By the way, I've started putting that into my old trading card thing. I'll show this eventually. I think it's kind of cool. You get all the information if you want to screen grab his info. But just look at that. That is a fantastically glorious looking Azrael. He's got the Mr. Sinister kind of draped shoulder things going on. He's got sculpted elements to him. Lots of crosses, crucifixes. He's a holy warrior, let's say, a crusades kind of guy. So he fits that motif every which way. Robes, long flowing bits of cloth. He's got kind of like one of those Tarzan kind of things going on, basically. Shield armor, gold-plated armor. The paint on this thing rocks. There is not a goof to this guy. I'm going to give him this all day. They really nailed the paint on this, because a lot of times previous figures, they've been kind of every which way. He comes with a sword and a flaming sheath. It fits over the sword, crucifix action going on, and then really nicely painted handles, sculpted. The fire fits over the actual sword itself, and it's snug. It fits on there nice, but it doesn't disrupt the paint. I've had no problem with it snagging any of the silver. And like I said, this guy is articulated. He is what you're wondering, what you're thinking, what you want to see when you see McFarlane kind of tackling new articulation methods while also producing new DC Multiverse figures. And I think that this is probably the best one that they have done yet in terms of a full package. But in looking at the details, and let's look at the sword again, you have the crucified Christ right there as an ornamental gesture on the actual handle of the sword. It came out great. The paint rocks on this thing. I think maybe just a little bit of weathering on the handle could have made it just over the top, but nice silver paint for the actual sword itself. It's got the line down the middle, just like the artwork. And the flame effect is perfect. It fits right over there, matches the comic book, and he holds it well. He is sculpted with hands that can go for triggers, because he does hold guns, of course. And then you can also just have him holding the sword, and it works perfectly. So no problems there. It's not too much where you can't like get it out, but it's not to where it's going to be falling out. But just take it all in. Look at this guy. Like I said, painted beautifully. Lots of little parts and pieces that help move with the figure. There's one element where it'll hinder the arm, but I'll show you that in just a second. But I like the sculpted pieces. Yeah, it would have been great to get the sword out of that thing, but it's just so detailed. Look at this, down to his boots. I love his little like hobbit looking boots. He's got these gauntlets, right? All the straps, the back, the wash that's on the fabric A little bit of wash would have been nice, I guess, on that gold piece. Sometimes, like the armor, kind of dirty him up, but then it kind of like makes it that he's like a pristine warrior now, you know? So on the head, this is actually pretty cool. A lot of it is a lot of rubbery pieces in the hood, so he can look up and down really good, but then you can move the head separate from the hood, which you couldn't do with the Green Arrow figure that they did. So that is some added articulation right there. That works. It works perfectly. It's not one solid piece. You get a lot of range of movement with it. You can get some more character-like aspects of it out of him. And his head is not hindered by the hood. You can rotate that as well. So it goes down, goes up. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. They heard us. They said, you know, let's try and make the fans happy. He's got really nice articulation. He's got bicep swivel. He's got single jointed elbows, but the single jointed elbows are ratcheted. Unfortunately, no double jointed, but I think it looks good. Stylistically, it looks good. He's got the ball joint. The wrists will go every which way. So he gets good mobility out of this particular arm. However, on this side, it's going to be hindered because the armor is a solid piece. It's not as exactly rubbery as I would have liked to have hoped. But you know what? It works with it. I can forgive it with whatever else is going on in the good factor for this guy. He's got a really nice ab crunch to him. It's hidden. You don't get a lot of like, you know, parts and pieces every which way. It's really nice, really fluid. And he can do the shimmy and shake all day. Goes back, goes up. You can see underneath his tunic right here, you can put the legs every which way. You can put them out to the side. He can do the splits. You are going to get this gappage, but that works to kind of cover it, right? So that works in terms of that's, you know, stylistically imposing him. He's got double jointed knees and he's got ankle rocker. It'll go up and down. And he even has toe articulation. But again, with the pin, it's the wrong colored pin. It's a black pin. Fine. That's another thing where I can go, it's pretty good. I would have liked to have seen a different colored pin. I'm just saying. Here he is lined up with a Marvel Legends Mr. Sinister. And as you can see, they both shop at the same cape store or whatever you want to call this sort of outfit, but they both accomplish that look where it juts out the back. So I'm very happy with that. Here he is with the Arkham Batman and Joker. They both stand taller than Azrael, which works and doesn't work. I think of Azrael being the exact same height as Batman, despite what the card says. Joker's a little bit taller. So in this sense, until we get to the rest of the White Knight figures, I would say Azrael is smaller than, I guess, most of the wave. We'll just say that. But it doesn't bother me because I want to see what the other figures look like in conjunction with him. So stay tuned for those. Batman, Spawn. This particular Batman is around the same height as Azrael, so it works. The Mezco Batman looks to be I like that little shorter bit Batman, so I like the way these two look. The NECA Batman will work. I think that looks great as well. They're about the same size. With Batman with the ears is always going to be a little bit taller, but when you put him with the Bat Raptor, the Mezco Batman, things like that, you can get a lot of great photos. Don't bother putting him on the stand unless you get him in a good pose. He's too heavy for the stand. This is a big, bulky, meaty figure, so he's entirely too heavy. So you need a real burly stand to hold this guy. But in posing him, in getting everything just to look good for photos, he strikes a pose, and he's just a fantastic figure. I love the color red on this guy. He looks like a holy warrior. The gold on this thing, his flaming sword, the one thing I would have loved to have seen is a sheath for his back. If they would have put that on there, it would have been ace of spades all around. Just, I wish they would have put that because that was from the comics. Maybe even given him a gun. That would have been greatest too. But it doesn't, detract from the fact you're getting a big burly figure. He's well articulated. I love that head with the new, the hood and everything else. They nailed it. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Comment below, let me know, and let's talk everything Batman, Curse of the White Knight. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, McFarlane Toys, if you're listening, if we can get this Batman, I know you've done a lot of Batman, but this Batman right here. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.